we're still networking and getting to meet each other as the program commences. We're starting off immediately with the data privacy, protecting, controlling, or using consumer data. And it will be done by Mr. Eric Barrizon, the founder of OX70. And this presentation today will be done via Skype. So we urge everyone to pay close attention as we commence today's deliberation. Once again, we welcome you all to today's session. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the program as we commence.
So, as you know, data privacy and data leak is a global concern. Yesterday, Bell Canada announced that they were leaking around 2 billion emails, plus telephone numbers and so on. Some Singaporean telecom companies were also fined for data breach. You have, of course, the famous banking breach in India, and UK has definitely every data leak on a regular basis. The interesting thing, as everyone is using internet, is that data leak and data privacy is affecting everyone. So it was, I put on the bottom left the story of Home Depot, which was done 2 years ago for first data leak, and it happened again this year. But data leak also concerns people who should be aware of that, typically soldiers, the army and the police. There was recently a case in the Netherlands where a cop, in fact, did share information with criminals. And to nominate one famous, Emmanuel Macron, you may know, suffered from a data leak on email and so on just before the vote last weekend, 2 weeks ago. So, data privacy and data leak is also concern for Africa. I will not mention the Nigerian case, but there was some article recently in Kenya regarding healthcare records. Some people in Ivory Coast are also mentioning the potential risk for young internet surfers. And interestingly, South Africa is pushing a regulation so that companies suffering from data breach are obliged to declare a data breach. So this is a little bit typical, similar to what is done in Europe or what is called the GDPR, but I will come back on this topic just after. So, as you may know, it's a famous sentence these days. Data, you see a lot of people say data is the new oil. So, it's only one source, us, okay, you. Everyone is playing with internet, feeding some information here and there. Many companies and industries are interested by the data we are providing. So it goes from advertising to purely statistic for the website and so on. The data is circulating and it's difficult to control. You don't know through which pipelines your data is flowing around the world because we are talking globally. At the end, you don't know where it ends, who is using it, and the value of your data. You don't know, in fact, what people are doing with it. Maybe it's the first level, but after you don't know exactly why the people are with your data. And sometimes people are calling you and you just wonder, but how did you get my coordinates? So it's difficult. It's definitely difficult to trace back where your data is coming from. So a famous, let's say, data cruncher is Facebook. So as you may know, Facebook announced around 2 million monthly users. The interesting thing is that the next day they announced this, there was an article in the States about someone saying Facebook does not care about your privacy. But one interesting comment I pitch I took, it was someone saying, did you really think they would? Okay. So I think people know that they are sharing information, and most of the people don't care what's really their data is done with. And as a consequence of this data privacy regulation, in fact, yesterday, 2 days ago, the French data protection, the CNIL, just put a fine of 150,000 euros to Facebook regarding privacy violation. So if a social network is not the only one of not the only area where you are exchanging information. If you look at the internet traffic in Nigeria, you will see here what are the main applications. So it goes from people looking for jobs, looking at their financial statement, doing some online stuff, download, and so on. So, what are the website info? So first, you need to put your you need to define yourself. So you have to create an account, potentially provide your name. Most of the case provide payment code like credit card info and so on. These sites are also, most of them usually their own cookies, but sometimes they are also promoting third parties. So you have, let's say, site cookies implemented at the same time you're surfing. Another aspect which is also regarding privacy is the location. I mean, just for information, for example, this morning I live on the South African newspaper, and the website asked me if I wanted to share my location. So definitely people are also interested in your location. The problem, as mentioned before, is that the people and the companies do not know where the data goes. Okay, so I did a small exercise using Firefox, and for the one who know it, a tool called LiveBeam, which gives you a trace of what's happening when you go on a website. So I did this experience roughly 1 month ago. So I looked on the Cezanne website, and it was just a Twitter exchange. Then I looked on the Cybersecurity Nigeria conference website. So here you still start to have a little bit more, typically Google APIs in terms of mapping and so on, and statistics, which are, let's say, normal for website administrator and for a user. Then, if you look on some websites, typically news sites, you start to see that it starts to be a little bit more crowded. And finally, if you look at the newspaper, which are typically sharing a lot of information to get advertising revenue, you see that you have a lot of websites playing, and that's playing with the web. So in fact, just to let you know, this image is just accessing the first web. Not navigating, whatever, just accessing the first web homepage. So what can we do to protect data privacy? Okay, to my knowledge, in Nigeria, you have, let's say, a section of the Constitution which says that the privacy of citizens must be protected. But no, I mean, to my understanding, there is nothing really related to, let's say, the internet traffic. And as a consequences, let's say 2 months ago, the CZN pushed to the government to develop data protection law. Okay. So the question is, what can be done by the companies handling that data? The consumer side, you and me, it's another aspect, but today I will concentrate on the consumer side, on the company side. Europe started a long time ago, I mean more than 10 years ago, to work on data privacy. And a few years ago, they decided to review their data protection regulation. So this is called the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. So this is common. This is a common law for all European countries. So very briefly, you have a lot of documents. In fact, the GDPR document is a 260-page document, so I will not go over it in this presentation, but you have the link here on different websites where you may find information. The big thing is, is that it will be in place next year. May 25, so most of the companies have less than 1 year to comply as much as possible with the GDPR regulation. So what does the GDPR regulation provide? Objectives, controls, what should be done in terms of processes and so on, and also in order to the companies to comply, they put penalties. So I will go over this just after. So the GDPR is included by 3 actors. One is the data subject, okay, so it's the person. One is the controller, so you mean the company which decide what they will do with the data, so typically sending you a gift, sending you a purchase you did on internet, and the process, which is the element which is processing the data. Most of the case, the process is inside the controller, but it might be also external. So regarding personal data, it's very wide. Okay, the definition is very wide. It goes, of course, through your name, your email address. It can go up to your, let's say, your IP address, your bank account, your social network activities, some biometrics, and some. So it's really wide in terms of data type. So who does it apply to? Okay. So first, it applies to every company having activities with Europe, the European Union, even if the processing is outside the European Union. The Europe, you will have to comply with GDPR. The first aspect is also the monitoring. Because if you start the monitoring of, let's say, people located in Europe, you may have to comply with GDPR too. So, as mentioned before, GDPR is a very long document. So I just took some, let's say, key examples in terms of objectives and. So the ultimate goal is to guarantee the consumer privacy. So what in companies and the data protect, design and buy. Okay, so that typically you don't have to multiply the number of databases. People have sometimes the ability to do database, so also store data which are not used. Okay, for example, if you look on if you buy something on Amazon, you might not be willing to tell if you are married with 3 children. Of course, you have to secure your data. You have also to tell for how long you will keep the data. What you are doing with the personal data. So for how is the processing lasting? Okay, if you will be using the data for 20 minutes, 20 days, 20. Also, for the consumer, their one important aspect is that the complaint and dispute process is defined. So if you want if you are not happy with the way your data is used, you can send a request to the company, and they have to comply with your request. And the regulation is done for that. There is a strong aspect also regarding child protection. When websites are dedicated, let's say, or talk to children, they will have to get the agreement from the parents. And last but not least, there is an important thing which is the right to be forgotten. Okay, so you can ask a company to be removed from their system. So this includes potentially also archive, backup, and so on. So this is so far IT people were mainly concerned by storing information and keeping it safe and backup and so on. Another element now is that you might want to delete some content in your system. So in terms of controls, as mentioned, I will not go into the details, but the people have really to understand, people know what they are doing with the private data at their own level, but also while sharing with third parties. So they typically, as mentioned, have to protect data, including from unauthorized processing. So if you share information with a partner and this partner is also sharing information, you have to be careful about that. As mentioned before, in South Africa, but this is clearly also stated in the GDPR, you need to notify when the data breach occurs, and you have 72 hours to declare data breach. So this is required on the company side to implement the process to manage those cases. In order to push the company to comply with the European regulation, the European Union put a very strong financial penalties, which can go up to 20 million euro or 4% worldwide of the preceding country. So definitely this is pushing companies to be compliant with GDPR. So how can a company, how can a company start addressing GDPR? So there is a classic one, but not always well done, which is the inventory. So you need to know where the data is stored and flowing, who has access to it, what kind of format, so it can be a PDF, an Excel, a Word, a database, and so on. There are many formats of documents which are circulating to companies. And also where is the data transmitted and how, in terms of security, encryption, and so on. I will come to this just after. And typically, if you are a Nigerian bank or a Nigerian company with a branch in Europe, you might have also to consider the cross-border data flow. Another aspect, the second aspect to start, let's say, working on GDPR compliancy is to reduce your exposure to threats. So you have an element is, for example, to reduce the number of data repositories. You don't multiply the database, you don't multiply servers, you really put the data where it should be, and you don't do a replication. And also, to protect from potential large data leak, you try to segregate your data sets so that people having access to one set has not the possibility to get all the data. In terms of data security, there are three aspects which are mentioning. The first is anonymization. I mean, if you want to do statistics on a website, you might be interested to know what is the age of the store, but you don't care about his name. Then there is pseudonymization, so you replace the name, or let's say here I would say definition by an ID which is the pseudonym of the person, so it's difficult to trace back. And last but not least, encryption. So regarding encryption, there is one interesting aspect is that if you encrypt all the data with a key which is linked to a unique consumer, if you use consumer and if you reuse this key, you will not be able to reuse the data. So this is an easy way, let's say, to start addressing the data, the right to be forgotten process. So data is one thing, but data is circulating, so you need also to secure your own environment, your servers, your laptop, your mobile, your database, and even USB key, because that's typically the kind of things which is left on the desktop or with potential confidential information on it. And of course, approach the network and communication flow with potential man-in-the-middle attack, or let's say at one point someone is exchanging information and the last point is not secure and it can be hacked. An important factor, in fact I should have started with this one, is the human factor. You definitely have to control who has access to your data internally and externally. So there was, for example, some survey done by L regarding user security, and in this survey they showed that 20% of people, of employees, were ready to share sensitive, confidential information under certain circumstances. So typically, if they were asked by management, so this is one side of the video phishing aspect, to treat the email of your boss to a mail and just say, here is the information. Potentially carrying with your friend or we are inviting the information is valid too. Carrying forward and the benefit is high. So regarding human side, that's your recommendation. So this is before data product, but the safety aware company comes from the top. Okay, it has to go the board and go down. And ideally, you have to assign a security point of contact in each department. Be sure that each department of your company is following the rules. Structure the need to know principle, so start access to data and functionalities which are necessary for the execution of the duties. There is no need to an admin passport to only one is to check what are the people, what your employees for joining us, but also continue monitoring them. Okay, so a lot of data breach are coming from internal people, which are not happy, which have the financial personal issues and try to make easy money and so on. So you really have to monitor. Again, inform the people, your employees that they will be monitored. Okay, the goal is not to spy them. Okay, so, and also, you definitely need to raise awareness within your company through customized training. So, training and cybersecurity awareness is a key element of human factor. So, as mentioned, GDPR is not applied to European companies, so it can apply also to sharing companies. So I will not go through the text, but if you look on the article 27 describes what has to be done. So then I took another example for Switzerland, which is the banking area. So in Switzerland, there is a supervisory authority called the FINMA, Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority. So they issued a circular regarding what has to be done when handling electronic client data. So I put here the documents which were issued by the Swiss authority, which are in German, French, and Italian, but to give reference to the English translation, which has been done by KPMG. So if you want more information, you have the document there. So this, in fact, this article is based on 9 principles, the governance, so how security is managed at the organization level, what are client identifying data, called CID, how this CID data is stored and who has access to it, some security standard in terms of encryption and so on, and also the human factor with the selection, the monitoring, and the training of the employees which will have access to the private data, to the consumers, to the client identifying data. There is also a recommendation regarding and rules regarding risk identification and control, risk mitigation. So how do you want? What can you do to avoid data breach? There is also an article.
Some of them will reply to you. And today there is people know about it, so people know familiar with this attack. So today the attackers move to what called whaling. They collect information. It's more sophisticated, and they want to target one or high-level targeted organizations. I will start with one example. So this is one of our customers. The CEO is Lior Samuelson, as we see who sent the mail, and Mike is the CFO of the organization. So the attacker sent mail to Mike, the CFO, behalf of Lior Samuelson, but if we see the domain, it's not the domain of the organization. And this is all the mail. Mike, are you in the office? So, I as a developer, I'm looking for, if I want to develop some, automated, how to recognize malicious content, you cannot know anything about this mail. It's only one mail that's sent for one organization. There is no volume, like regular, it does not look like spam. It's one mail to one organization, without link, without attachment, nothing. Only Mike, are you in the office? So this is the point that I want to start. I start the investigate or research this scam. So I reply, yes, do you need me? I need to handle a wire transfer. Okay, let me know if you can handle it. Email me, I will be busy. Okay, you don't want me to call him or something, I will be busy. Yeah, send me the details. $18,000, this is what you want. And it's from Line Sire bank account, if you receive. Let me know if you receive the right information. Email me copy of the call. Okay, so if you want to look about this mail, okay, what we can understand. So we have the domain, offices.com. We have a bank account. And he asked for confirmation, to send him a copy of confirmation. Okay, this is what we have. So let's start. You can look in who is, okay, who is a service, that you can know who is by these domains, and is by who is privacy protection service. It's a service that you can pay a few dollars, and then nobody knows what is your address and what is your details. So actually, it looks like a dead end. We know nothing about it. The bank account is a real bank account. I checked it, but they don't give me details about the owner of the bank account. So we never need to give up. So I only wait a few weeks. After a few weeks, I got another mail. Morning, Mike. I have a few transactions. Can you let me know? Again, from your Samsung, there is no links, there is no nothing. I cannot. It's only another one mail. And what the attacker is using here is a nickname techniques. It changed the nickname only. Okay, you use Gmail as you see, it used Gmail, but it changed the nickname. Okay, to the nickname of the CEO of the organization. So, in Gmail it's very easy, in Exchange, in Outlook it's very easy to change the nickname. So, again, what we have here, we have Gmail, and if you reply to is reply to another email, is reply to controller.co in Yahoo. So, we have two mails. We have Gmail and Yahoo. Gmail in Yahoo, if you send email from Gmail in Yahoo, is from the SMTP protocol, it will show the IP of Gmail or Yahoo. You don't present with the email of who is sent the mail. Okay, so we cannot understand exactly what is the address. So what I decided to do in this step, I decided, okay, to use the same techniques that they use. I open a Gmail account, it's my Gmail account, and I changed the nickname. As he do, I changed the nickname to Mike, and I said, Mike, I need this. Okay, I want to show if we follow, I guess that he's sending a lot of mails, that he's not follow about who is sending the mails. So you need to understand, it's a new mail that started talking with him. It's a new mail. Okay, and you reply to me, yeah, below, this is the details, but now we want 56,000 British pounds. Okay, it's in money. So we have bank account, and again, you want confirmation page. This is what repeat. In this case, always repeat, you want the payment confirmation page. So I start to think about it. Okay, I have bank account, again, it's a real bank account, but I have Gmail, I have Yahoo, I cannot understand nothing from this. But let's think, what is the weakest link? Always they ask for confirmation page. So we have Yahoo account Gmail, so I think about, okay, let's try something with it. So this is why I reply to him. Okay, the trick is I want him to log into my account. Okay, so I asked him, I have 2 passwords. You know what is the password? Is 123 or 321? And actually, a few minutes after, I get a notification for Gmail. Someone log into your account. It's from New York, and you have used Windows, Firefox. I have the version. If you want to know, this is the place you can see who is connected to your account. So now I can know exactly what is his IP, United States, you have Mozilla, I know exactly the version of the Windows, I know exactly details about him. Okay. So now this is the place, in United States, according to IP address, you can know exactly a street. So I look in the street in Google Maps, and I know that most of them using proxy, most of them using some public Wi-Fi, so it seems to be the place. Maybe next building. Okay, so we have a Gmail account, Yahoo account, we know the Windows, we know IP, we know we're using operation, I know the operation system we use. So from here, some of the action is illegal in some countries. So I made a PDF. PDF look like a confirmation number. I wrote some code, a few lines, and compiled it to exe. So I have Troj.exe, and I cannot send it Troj.exe. I think you're not opening it. So I use a resource hacker. It's a free tool. You have another tools. You can change the icon and maybe change the name, confirmation number, .pdf, .exe. Still, it's a problem to send pdf.exe. It seems to be a problem. So thanks to the right to left languages we have in Windows, character map in every Windows, we can use right to left character. It's U plus 202B. It's an unseen character. You can put it in text and you left to right your text. So I have confirmation number. The first is the original. It's TXCE and then fdp.exe, and if I put the character, it's changed to exe.pdf. But actually it's still executable. So if you see in type, you see application, it's still application, it's the same file. It's only I change right the left from the 6 less enter. Okay? So now it's looking like PDF. It's a icon of PDF, we have a .pdf, but it's executable for operation system. The problem to send executable, Gmail will block it, most of the Exchange will block executable, so I look for some file transfer service, like I found a WeTransfer, and I'm sending via WeTransfer. And this is my server. I open account in Amazon, via Amazon, because it's bought it with an anonymous credit card, so nobody can know which the account is belong. I use the same techniques that the attacker uses. It's the same technique. I don't do nothing special. It's the same techniques that they use. And I built a few components. The first component is when you run the executable, it will send me the IP and a few details about what is algorithm is connected to your computers and network cards and few data. I have some component of screenshot. If I want to ask screenshot, I can take screenshot. I can take files. I can upgrade my application, my executable, and kill me. I can kill him and destroy the file. So after I think few minutes, I get 3 people click on this PDF, not 1, 3. I think 2 United States, 1 from Nigeria. And I apply the selfie component. So this is our guy. And screenshot. So I start to take screenshot. A lot of screenshot. This is when they're talking about me. And it's a lot of data. I think I have some problem with, if you write some product, some application, you're doing some bugs, or ever some bugs, that if you connect 2 cameras together, it will pop up a message, what camera I want to use. So this is what happened here. You bring me something like webcam, no? When I download the link, I think it's the first time that I see the video. And I know Sapi, so I found Nigeria. I think it's a good place to find the pidgin English translate. And okay, so we collect a lot of information. Another target that they start to collect information about new targets. And actually they're using another group to help them. They're not working alone. And they're using a few... and they share information, and you can see I have Indian account with 5 billion euro. And that. So, what we understand from here until now. So we have, they're using a Gmail account, okay, a Yahoo Gmail account, we have the IP. They're talking a lot in Skype, they use a WhatsApp group, and we collect a lot of information. Actually, from all this data, I built some algorithm to recognize CEO scam or whaling scam. And for the conclusion, so actually it's a group, it's not one person, okay, it's a group. The first that get the message, he send it to his colleague to help him, and then they have someone that they manage them, they need to tell him, okay, we have someone transfer money to this account, so it's a lot of logistic work. And then after they move the money, they need to use another group. It's a closed group to take the money from the bank account. So it's a very complicated, it's a very organized group. Okay, so this is the interior. If you have something to ask, if you want.
All right, we have questions? Questions?
Yes. Good morning. Somehow, it's not concerning this particular subject in general, but like you explained to us how we defend ourselves, because you standing behind the developer, and you could write a software or an application that which you disguised in PDF format to track these people. But all of us, not all of us are developers. And the problem we face in this country is not wiring of money to get them from this VPN update, blah, blah, blah. If there's a way you wrote the software to bypass their work and their security, do you think there could be a way to suspend or deactivate our cards using USSD strings?
Start, you asked two questions. So the first one, you asked, this is the first question. So yeah, I don't accept that you start to send PDF to people, but yeah, if you use SIM, like what I saw in the SIM, Security Information Event Management, this is what we do. We build some rules that every mail that come to the organization, we take the domain and we ask the who is, and we ask them, okay, how much time, when the domain is buying, when the domain someone buy it. Okay, so if you buy it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, please give us alert. So there's something that it looks suspicious. If it's like 1 year, or it's not suspicious. Another thing is we look for the nicknames. We have all the logs. Okay, we know who is sending mail to our organization, so we know the logs. So we look at the nicknames and we see, okay, if the nicknames is equal to the nickname of all the CEO, CFO, all the VP in the organization, give us another alert. Okay, so there is a way to do it. Okay, and this is for this question. And about the scam, so again, what we wanted to, it's the same, all the scheme is about money. Not all the same, is also to steal data, but it's about the money. What exactly, can you repeat the question?
I said, sorry, ATM card using USSD strings like star 222 star whatever or to deactivate, just like it is to transfer without having to use data network to make that transaction. Because like you, a developer now, I'm not a developer anyway. If I'm to be a victim of this card sheet, and this is Nigeria, and this is Nairobi, and those teller boys, they wire your money, and they do it Friday night to Sunday evening, so that you won't be able to go back. Is there a way, or you as a developer, I'm asking you this, is it possible for them to be a way to be able to suspend or deactivate your card using USSD strings? Example is if someone has compromised this my card and I want to deactivate it, can there be a code to run or probably an application or whatever it is that will do it, for me to just dial a simple code from my phone and suspend my card during that weekend while they are doing that transaction.
The quick way is, of course, it's possible. There's a project to solve this problem. Yes. Thank you.
That's a good question. Any more questions? Any more? Well, please, can we appreciate Mr. Yannick once more?
All right, good morning, everybody. As the ER said, my name is Helen George. I am currently the Senior Security Analyst in the U.S. I work as a contractor to federal government. Thank you. I have a confession. I love gadgets, but I hate this thing. I conduct security awareness training. I do risk assessment. I do control testing, continuous monitoring, and all the good stuff. I want to appreciate Mr. Afon for the opportunity to be here and for these great initiatives. We are going to start this morning, and as the topic said, implementing effective security awareness program. Usually when I train or when I go to speak about awareness, I always start with a question. So, my first question. What is the greatest threat to information security? A lot of people have given out the answers between yesterday and today, so I was actually mad. Somebody gave it out yesterday. Sir? Human beings are the greatest threat to cybersecurity. Yes, you have your firewall, you have your SOC, you have your SIM going, but who is monitoring all this stuff? The person. So, what's up? That's not mine. Disgruntled employees. You fire somebody that is not happy, and they create a backdoor before they leave. And before you know it, they are siphoning your information. So, to prevent this, you have to have proper security awareness program. Meaning you have to train your employee as soon as they come on board. What your policies and procedures are regarding security awareness program. So, what is the agenda for this session? Security awareness background. What is security awareness program? Why implement security awareness program? What does an effective security awareness program look like? A little background. The threat of human error is extremely difficult to deal with. Anybody agree with me? As you see me today, can you tell whether I can come into your house and bought your house or come steal anything from you? Is it possible to know whether the person sitting right next to you is an archive or the person sitting right next to you is carrying a virus, USB with a virus? So we cannot easily detect that. While I was doing this research, I was trying to find online any policy that Nigeria has regarding cybersecurity or security awareness in general. I found some things, but they are not as solid as I expected. You know, the Office of the Nigerian National Security Advisor actually published the Nigerian Cybersecurity Strategy. And in that, Chapter 4, Section 3 listed some, I think about 5 initiatives. One of the initiatives was awareness. And according to them, they said awareness according to their study, they said awareness is raising a measure, or raising awareness is a measure that can be used to reduce likelihood of individuals being victims of cybercrime. What happened to the corporate? What happened to the government? It's not only individuals. So it was the 4 bulleted point that was what was listed about awareness. So it is imperative for not only individuals, not only private organizations, but for our Nigerian government to implement an effective security awareness so that you don't have employees walking away from their computer unlocked so that somebody else can view the information. Security awareness program is not predictable. Humans are not predictable. I'm sorry. Humans are not predictable. They are specifically for appropriating security measures. Let's move on to the next one. These are 4 gave me only 10 minutes. I'm trying to work with this time. So let's do that. So security awareness program is to educate users to implement secure practices into their daily activities. Awareness training includes training needs of all users in the organization, not only for regular users. Your sub team must know, that they're supposed to be vigilant at all times. Employees, supervisors, managers, CEOs, everybody must be aware of what the threat of their negligence is to the organization or the company. So while creating the security awareness program, there are some topics that you must include in it. To train your employee, you must have at least the list of these topics in your security awareness program. Your employees must learn what their action is going to be, or what their action is going to affect confidentiality, availability, or integrity of your data. What is going to affect a bank might be different from what is going to affect, let's say, an insurance company. Sorry, Mr. Kitchen. So you have to, so you can try 500 years to see if you can crack it. Are we here? Yep. Are we cold? No. Is it too cold here? Everybody's quiet. I want to make sure that I'm not running or you're not losing me. All right. Mr. Ikechukwu spoke on social engineering yesterday. I am not going to speak about it. These are the ways in which social engineering can occur. I've gotten an email from, I was telling somebody I got an email from an old boss of mine. It was actually the CEO of my old, the old company that I worked for, and he sent me a Google Doc. That was last year. And I looked at it, like Wasim would not be sending me a Google Doc. So I respond to the email without clicking the link. I'm like, Wasim, did you send this? He said, yes. I said, okay. So I picked up my phone and called the office. Is Wasim in? Yes. Where is he on the phone? Can you ask him if he sent me a Google Doc? He said, no, I didn't send it. I said, well, you might want to change your password because you've been compromised. Email policy, this is one that I have issues with everybody that I deal with. Your company email is not your personal email. If you get an attachment at home and you cannot open it, do not forward it to your work email. Not only are you going to lose your job, your company is going to lose its reputation. How many of you remember OPM breach? Okay. So this is how it happened. Somebody got an email, in their personal email. They tried to open the attachment, they couldn't open it. And they brilliantly decided to forward it to their work email. Isn't that brilliant? So she got to work, opened the attachment, and the attachment forwarded itself to every contact on her Outlook. Voila, that is how it happened. If she had received awareness, knowing not to forward personal emails to her work email, this will not happen. They must know that when they receive links, like my previous speaker said, verify the address before you respond. Actually, the best practice is actually call them. You see what I did there? I first responded to him, did you send it? He said yes. But I still wasn't convinced, so I called him. And he said no. So the best practice is call. Look, did you send this to me? They said yes, in person. Then you can open it. And I'll write there, I was here, I am an anchor. Or something like that. And I'll put it on their monitor and then I'll lock their computer for them. These are some of the things that awareness do. When you create awareness, you can be each other's brother's keeper. If your coworker left without locking their computer, if you go through your awareness program, you will know to help them lock their computer to prevent, an incident. If you use laptop, do you have locks? Can your computer be locked down so that in case somebody wanders into your office, they don't walk away with the company laptop? Are your files password protected? Or do you just save in your local drive or something, and anybody can easily go there? Do you lock down your computer before going home? When I used to work help desk, we can remote into people's computer to fix it for them. And I have this user who said, oh, I can just give you my password, and if you try to remote in and it's locked, you can just unlock it for me. I'm like, ma'am, that is against the rule. You can't do that. Anybody can remote into an unlocked computer. Believe me, am I lying? Sir, if you leave your computer unlocked, I can have fun going through everything you have on it. Why not on your desktop? I can be in Zambia and be looking into your computer the same way he's looking into that guy's email, their activities. But I don't do that. I can remote into it if I have your IP address. Make sure you run a desktop firewall. It's very, very important. Physical security. Are they aware of physical security? Tailgating. Tailgating. Somebody, you're going into the office and somebody's walking right behind you because they don't want to open the door themselves. They just want to jump in before the door closes on them. That is tailgating. And it happens all the time where people just wander into organizations that they don't belong to just to find something to steal or to copy. Are your users aware who to contact in case of a security breach? Do you have security department with easily accessible phone numbers or call, or are they only there Monday to Friday? Hackers don't wait Monday to Friday. They don't wait until Monday to attack. They attack on weekends because they know that everybody is out having fun. So why are your security not there 24/7? Your security is supposed to be there 24/7 in case something happens. Before leaving home, secure your desk. Especially those that handle sensitive information. You must create a clean desk rule. When you leave, clear off your papers, lock them up in the drawers. Are your users aware about the access policy? There are two types of access. You have logic access and you have logical access, You have logical access and physical access. So do you know the difference between both? This is what security awareness does. I actually have a video, I hope it plays.
Security is of paramount importance to IT companies, but no company is totally secure, as there are gaps and loopholes in the security, and intruders try to exploit these in order to gain access into the premises. An intruder is looking to enter an office, but the office is securely access controlled with ID cards, so he plans to gain access through an employee's card. He tries to gain the attention of a few employees until one of them acknowledges and smiles. The intruder then requests the employee for access into the office, saying that he forgot his ID card at home and that he has to attend an important meeting scheduled in the next hour. The employee agrees and provides access to the intruder to enter the office. The intruder roams the office premises looking for his next target. He waits until he notices a lady carrying a lot of files and folders and offers his help. The employee is pleased by this kind gesture and allows the intruder to carry the files and folders, and thereby gains access to restricted areas, and roams around looking for valuables and confidential data like mobile phones, USB flash drives, and post-it notes. A rewind to the problem. The intruder requests an employee for access, but the employee wisely prompts the intruder to get a temporary ID from the respective department. The intruder does not get access, and thereby a security breach has been avoided.
Thank you. So, this is how security, physical security occurs. They pay a woman a nice compliment, and and she's blushing, and before you know it, she's divulging information. So, I'm a woman. Believe me, I am not ashamed to admit it that yes, most of these comments play on women's emotion to get to where they want to get to or get the information that they want to get to. And believe me, there are some good women that can siphon information from men. Uncle, if I want to know where you live, what you eat, what you drink, what your cologne is, what your favorite spot is, I can get it. So believe me, not only men do that, women also can do that. So you must teach your employees to recognize these things. Antivirus pop-up. The lady speaker that spoke yesterday said, all of us are too lazy to actually take our time 2 minutes to check what that pop-up is. It pop-ups and say, oh, I've detected a problem. Believe me, I don't take this thing serious. I was on a plane, I was on my computer, and that thing pop up. I put my notes on antivirus to work immediately. Most of us, we ignore it. And then, before you know it, you've lost a lot of things. When they recognize this thing, do they know that, okay, this is a security breach about to happen or events about to happen? They need to be taught to understand and recognize these events. Incident response, nobody likes this. It's better for you to be proactive than reactive. But let's just say something happened. Are your employees aware who to contact in case of a security breach? Do you have an incident response team that can respond immediately For example, you traveled during the weekend, you took a cab, and you left your laptop in the cab. You are supposed to call help desk, security immediately so that that laptop can be wiped off. But guess what? We are only working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We don't have budget to cover weekends. And managers, research potential candidates. Yes, there are some candidates that you can tell that this person, if employed, will sell out the company information. This is why they conduct background check before you are employed. They want to make sure that you are not a financial risk, so that somebody will not come and tempt you with money, and then you know that you have all these debts that you have to pay, and then you accept the person's money and then sell out company information. Educate engineers to track system changes. Do you have CMB, Change Management Board? Do you meet with all stakeholders before changes are made to the system? Or do you just wake up one day and say, I'm going to update this server, and you don't know what is going to affect in your system? You update something, and then it affects every other thing, and then before you know it, everything is broken down. That's why you have to have change board management or change board team or change management team. Create and communicate policies. Policy, I cannot stress it enough. I'm not saying it because I do write one, but you have to have an effective policy. By educating and implementing effective security program, your employees will be better informed on the best practices and current human vulnerabilities. You can take steps forward to ensuring you're not part of the many organizations that are breached. Questions? If you answer it, I'll give you one thumb. Question? Oh, okay.
I was wondering, you talked about password policy, password, kind of how strong the password should be. Yeah. So I was wondering, what should be the trade-off with having a strong password and having to have a strong password for every, say, account you have? So for instance, I have a Gmail. I have, in fact, maybe 4 Gmail accounts. I have 3.
Are you doing Yahoo?
I have 3 Yahoo accounts. I have several other.
Somebody researching.
Yeah, so I have like several other online systems where I need to use passwords to be able to gain access into. So what should be that trade-off for a strong password? Because remember, strong password should be from 8 characters and combining alphanumeric special symbols and all. So if I have a very strong password, it will be very difficult to remember, definitely. So how do I have that kind of that balance between maintaining a great deal of strong passwords for all my online platforms?
Okay, so as long as that password is very strong, you can use that same password for everyone. I get asked this all the time. Yes.
But then what if
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
What if you get hacked? My password
Let me die before you bury me. That's small. One option is to have one good solid password. My password is 22 length. 22 characters length. That's one option. So yeah, it's going to take you about 500 years to guess it. That's another option. Another option is to have a secure place where you write your password down and keep it. Do not put it on your desk. Do not put it in your bag. Do not store it on your phone. That's between you and you. You have to figure out where it is that it's secure, that you can put it. You have to figure out where it is that you can secure. I don't want to say where I thought maybe you should put it.
Do you believe in insider fraud?
That is what this is about.
Now, he has one password for all the accounts, and then he writes it down or something else, and he keeps it secretly. Do you believe you have someone that you trust the most?
No, I don't.
Excuse me, please. Your husband?
No, my husband is very careless.
Your child?
Same thing.
See, the issue of one password to all accounts is very risky.
Yes, and I said that, yes. I said it's an option. An option that's supposed to be changed. Remember, part of the list was change it frequently.
60 days?
You don't have to wait 60 days. If it's personal, if it's office policy is between 60 to 90 days. To change password, when you create policy, your users will be forced to change their password, either they like it or not, at the end of 60 days or 90 days. For your personal Gmail account, if you change it today and decide, you know what, I don't like that password, change it tomorrow, that's up to you.
But my point is that it's not a good suggestion to have one password for all the accounts.
You are right, and you are right. And in case one gets breached and the password got into one, you can get into every other thing.
You compromise when I get your password. So it's always good to have a good brain that you can have different passwords. I think it's in the safer way.
You can have different password. You can have 3 different passwords for 3 different accounts. So you said you have 4 Yahoos, right? 7. I'm sure this guy is Yahoo. You have 7 different Yahoo accounts, right? You can have. That's what it said. That's for email. Listen, you can have 3 different passwords for your Yahoo account. For those 7 accounts. Write it down. If you lose it, there's always something called forgot password. It's easy. If you forget it or you lose it, click forgot password. It's very easy to change. If you are being lazy with your password, uncle, you don't fall maga.
Okay, hello, hi.
They said my time is over.
Just one question. So my name is upwards of 500 passwords. Upwards of 500 passwords. I mean, with what I do, I have tons and tons of accounts.
So you have 500 passwords?
Over. So the question is, no, that's where I'm going now. Google, of course, there was a research that was carried out.
You also have Untitled Google account?
No. So Google advises or advised in that particular report that people should use what is called a password manager. What's your view on that? Because especially when it's encrypted, what's your view? Because the reality is that more and more, you have your banks, you have everything. There are tons and tons of passwords. So if you're saying one password, 500 accounts, how are you going to cope with that? So I'm asking you as an expert, what do you think?
So if you, but the thing I have with password manager is, if something happened and that got compromised. Yes. So except you are going to do a two-factor authentication on that password manager, then that is a good idea. If your password manager, if you have a password, Apple has the keyword keeper or something, where you can store all your password and all that. That is, for me, I use that. And I have password on it. The moment I try to log in, it's going to send me a text message with a code to put in to know that I am the one trying to access that. So that is an option for you if you want to go through that extra step to keep your password. But for an individual, regular user that has 10 Yahoo accounts, you can either say, okay, if it's not something that you use for important transaction, you can use one password. But yes, he's right, password keeper is a good option, but you must make sure that the password you are going to use to password it is very strong, and you have a two-factor authentication. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, she is right in her words by saying women will not get power. All the men that have been presenting and nobody asked any question. Very, very simple. I'm giving out the gift tomorrow to the best selfie that I can get here at this conference. Is that possible?
That's what?
Best selfie. Is it possible? Very possible. Now it's pretty simple. Just take a selfie of yourself and make sure it is inside this hall. And I have to check, I'll check the selfie well to be sure you didn't take it outside but it has to be inside. So you take this selfie and you follow our handles, hashtag CyberSecureNG. On Twitter, we have CyberExpertsNG. And on Facebook, you can like us on Facebook, CSEAN, that's CSEAN. And you can also check our website, www.csean.org.ng. Follow our handles, and tomorrow I am sure to give out a gift to the best selfie I can get. All in favor say aye. Aye. And those against say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Alright, please join me as I welcome to the podium Ambassador Olusegun H. Olufile, a UNIG advisor and member of Cybercrime Advisory Council, to lead us in the panel. Please come put your hands together for him.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Please, I will give a response. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah, the issues of cybersecurity for Nigeria, the fight to ensure that the country, have national cybersecurity strategy and all that in play is behind. But today, I'm so happy that we have a new generations of the, Nigerian professionals that are taking it from where we have stopped. But I can assure you we have not stopped yet. What we want to do is to ensure that we support the effort and also see how we can showcase every one of us here that Nigeria has all that it takes to drive its own future. And I believe that God will help us. Please say no. Now, my mission here is to moderate a policy panel on national cybersecurity, and the topic is prioritizing cybersecurity for a secured national economic recovery plan. And please, you will allow me, because I'm sure that we are all aware that the federal government has recently released the national vision and the national agenda. And let me tell you, whatever that we do here, if it's not aligned with the national agenda or vision, then it means that we are working against the direction of the government. And not the government, but the futures of our country. So our whole role here is to ensure that we align what we are doing here toward the agenda of the government, and see how we can have a declarative statement that will organize the government machinery to support cybersecurity and prioritize it. I hope you are with me. Are you with me? Yes. I can assure you our panel will be interactive. We are going to allow you to ask questions, and if you have issues in your mind, the member of the panel that we have here, they are going to be talking directly, because you will hear from Mrs. mouth. And we are fortunate to have members who have been part of the process that led to the national cybersecurity strategy, both in the past, in the present, and also in the future. Because we are not by tomorrow, will be future, right? Now, please permit me to introduce Dr. Uche Mbanaso, who is the Director of the Center for Cyberspace Studies, National State University. Can we please give me a round of applause? Sir, are you comfortable here? Dr. Mbanaso has spent more than almost 23 years. We're going to hear a lot from him. And also, let me introduce Mr. Josh. It was playing so well. I'm sorry. Mr. George Seyedreswa. I'm still learning to pronounce. And is a secretary to the Cyber Crime Advisory Council under the National Security Advisor's Office. Please, can we have you on the podium? The advisory team to the Honorable Minister of Aviation during the last administrations on cyber security in the person of Dr. Stephen Dashi. Then I have a pleasure to introduce to you the great Amazon in the Nigerian ICT industry or sector. She's been very fantastic, and she has really challenged people like me. And she was formerly the president of the Nigerian Internet Registration Association, having served under the National Communication Commission as a director in so many departments. And now she is the chairperson of the Nigerian Internet Governance Initiative. And she's been convening and organizing Nigerian Internet Governance to ensure that Nigerian voice and our participation in the global process is well taken care of. Please, can we honor this is about myself, I'm simply Shegun Olubile. I have the privilege of being an advisor to UN Secretary General on Internet Governance and a member of the Cyber Crime Advisory Council, comes to advocating for national cyber security strategies and programs in this country. So I'm so happy to be in your midst today. Now, I want you to, please, let me take you, I would like to take you through the background information so that we can be on the same page. We can really understand the context in which we are going to have interactive section. And I want to implore you to please, if you have questions, ensure that you put them down and be with us. Really want you to be with us, because out of this panel, we need to have a statement that is, that will be directed to the federal government of Nigeria, that the government should wake up if we do not want our country to go down, especially when it comes to digital economy. Now, I will read within the next just few minutes, and I will be fast and emphasize some important key areas. The government recently released a National Economic Recovery and a Growth Plan, which articulates the administration vision for the country for the period between 2017 and 2020, while laying the foundation for the long-term growth. According to the plan, the underlying philosophy is to optimize local content and empower local business. However, in the last 2 years, the administration's anchor is change agenda on improving, number one, security, number two, tackling corruption, and revitalizing the economy. We are yet to see the government prioritizing its economic agenda around ICT, most especially in connection with the national digital economic and security. Under the previous federal government administrations, the government then classified ICT as a sector, as an enabler, and as a tool for economic development and growth. The Minister's report of 2014 declared Nigeria as being recognized as one of the largest growing economies in the world, maintaining number 25th position among the committees of nations. One of the key contributing factors is the explosive growth in ICT, where ICT is contributing 8.55% to the national gross domestic product. Please follow me, because we are going to talk around all these important figures. Now, with the local content penetration growing exponentially with over 97 million of active mobile data subscribers, and the internet users is put at over 90 million as of today. Well, I heard someone talking about over 100 yesterday. Now, the National Economic and Recovery and Growth Plan. How many of us are aware of that document? Please, if you are not aware, I want you to please go and get a copy online. Visit the National the website of the Ministry of National Planning and Budget. Make sure that you read it very well, because it's actually it articulating. In fact, the program of the government has been well planned and articulated in that document. Now, the National Economic Recovery and Growth Plan is prioritized around 6 areas which intersect well with the global agenda on SDG. Now, let me explain it. The SDG has given us a global vision that by the year 2030, nations should eradicate poverty and hunger should be eradicated, and I think about 11 goals sectorial. It focuses on 3 strategic objectives. Number 1, restoring growth. I'm talking about our own plan, investing in our people and building a competitive economy. According to the plan, to restore growth, we need to stabilize the economy, number 1, and restructure the economy for growth, number 2. Now, the plan targets a growth rate of 7% by 2020, driven by strong non-oil sector growth, anchored on 6 prioritized areas. 6 prioritized areas, please follow me. And number 1 area is stabilizing macroeconomic environment, agriculture and food security, energy sufficiency, transportation infrastructure, industrialization through the SMEs. Now, the big question, if ICT is classified as a sector and a key enabler of development, which has contributed significantly to the national GDP in the last administrations, why would ICT be missing in the list of national priorities? Hello? That's number 1 question. Number 2, looking at the economic plan, our whole plan, I want us to look at our projection, how the thinking of government, that this is how we're going to achieve it, this is what they are expecting. Number 1, the real GDP is projected to grow by 4.6% on average over the plan between the period of 2017 and 2020. From an estimated contraction of 1.5% in 2016, then the real GDP growth is projected to improve significantly to 2.19%. Please, I don't want to get you bored, but these statistics are very important, and I'm going to connect it to what you are doing here. Now, reaching 7% at the end of the plan period, this growth will be driven by fiscal stimulus, helped by an expected increase in oil prices, an increase in non-oil federal receipts, an increase in oil production. How many times have we had oil? How many times? Severally. Now, and resolution of payment arrears, especially joint venture cash call. In addition, increased growth in the non-oil sector, especially agri, manufacturing, services, and light industry will be central in overall GDP growth. The slight dip in growth in 2019 is projected to result from the general election in that year with quick recovery. I pray it is like that. That with quick recovery the following year, the strong growth during the plan period will be driven by agriculture and industry, and in the later part of the plan period by the service sector as well. Now, the inflation rate is projected to trend downwards from the current level of almost 19% to single digit by 2020. It is also projected that the exchange rate will stabilize as the monetary, fiscal, and trade policy are fully aligned. Like it or not, the increasing economic gorilla asymmetric fear attack is being diversified, thereby leading to the securitization of the development agenda. Consequently, international security policy and global economic dialogue are finally shifted toward cyber security. Number 2, the current global trade policy, such as Trans-Pacific Partnership, has redefined international trade around cyber security, data protection, and cross-border digital data flow, which will have unprecedented trade impact on our ability to compete and negotiate a fair deal with other countries in the world. And most unfortunately, we have Trump as the president of the US. We will come back there. The real trade war is commencing, and we must now act before it is too late. Now, where am I going? The last part. Considering the central theme of this conference, a digitally variable economic creates opportunity for a strategic intervention. Learning from UK and Kenya approach, we can become security exporting nation by identifying gaps, renegotiating our regional trade deal, empowering our institutions, promoting and engaging our young professionals. A gap analysis obtained from implementing a national cybersecurity assessment alone can create direct 2,000 jobs with multiplier effect on the labor market. Please, we would like to hear from you within a few minutes. What do you think that should be the area that the government should be looking into, especially in the areas of ICT, that should be harnessed by the government and integrated, and mainstream into the implementation framework of our national plan?
And all over the world, this is what is driving every economy in the world today. Fortunately and unfortunately, cyberspace is redefining a new world order and a global status. How much both great potential for economic growth, it also has great potential for doom. So you must strike the balance. And what is important in this space for us to understand, that it's a knowledge-based space, domain. And very key to it is research. Very, very key to it is research. In various ways, how can we tap on the opportunities that are available? It has to be research that has to enable that. How do we play in the cybersecurity space? It has to be research that has to do that. So basically, we need a very intensive, focused research that can be domesticated. I think we have been in this illusion that knowledge can be transferred or technology can be transferred. When I was growing up in the 1970s, I heard about that technology transfer, and we built some motor plants that technology will transfer. For over how many years now? That technology has not been transferred. And so we need to begin to look inward to know that no country can transfer any knowledge to you or can transfer technology to you. So we must harness the potentials we have in this country. We have very dynamic young Nigerians who are very, very intelligent, who can do more than other countries can do. But what is really lacking is that leadership direction, clear leadership direction. Let me give you, for instance, we don't have any policy on research in this space. Most countries have already rolled out a policy direction on research, a focused research, so that you know what you are researching. It's not everybody just doing what they like. There must be a focus, and we must prioritize. And if we tap into this, it can help our GDP to grow very, very tremendously, and help us as small business enterprises. Because, for instance, software development today is no more rocket science. And we have young Nigerians who are developing very good software, but they are not, the market is not there for them. So we need to begin to domesticate and begin to localize what we do, and know that it's only we and only us can secure Nigerian cyberspace. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Benefit of engaging in cyberspace, and for us to harness that benefit to our own benefit. Then the need for us to have a policy on research and development, especially as it has to do with ICT and leadership space, which is the gap. That's part of what we are doing. Now let's move forward. The second question, please, I want to remind you again, we're talking about the missing link between the ICT, prioritizing ICT, and scaling down to cybersecurity, and the National Economic Plan. The National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy was launched in 2015. How many of us are aware of that? That 2015, the then President launched the Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy, and the cybercrime law was also signed into law. A bill was signed into law in 2015, and yet we are yet to implement the provisions of some of these documents. Now, how can implementation of this instrument stimulate a vibrant competitive space and innovations for the country, especially when we consider the 6 prioritized areas? Think about technology, the transport, the food and security, and health and education. I remember in China, they are talking about road and belts. When I look at the China strategy, I was like, wow, these guys have a vision. Now, what is the impact of that? Mr. George, please, can you give us an input here, the response?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Shegun. First and foremost, when you look at the National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy, it outlined certain priorities. Now, when you put that against the economic recovery and growth plan, the implementation of, let me just take, first of all, just education, awareness and education. When Helen George was presenting, she mentioned the fact that there was just a one-liner referring to awareness. But in addition to that one-liner in the policy, well, there are other references too, but what has happened is there is an implementation plan that is drawn out, and it spells out the various levels of awareness that's going to be carried out. So you will have that at the level of the citizenry, at the level of schools. You're going to have that at the level of the working public, people in the workspaces and all. 2, another item that Dr. Mpan also mentioned is research. Now, part of the national strategy is that we're prioritizing research and development in this area. Now, when you speak about that, the multiplier effect of implementing just the plan on research and development is massive. What it will entail is you're going to have a regime of curriculum ranging from primary schools, secondary schools, and as well as what is done in the universities. So, when you have that, first of all, you're going to have a situation where universities need to retool. They need to have new people. We have a lot of brilliant Nigerian schools. Some are in the country, some are working outside. They can come in to take up lecturing spaces. They can come in and take up research, focused research in, you can have stop dealing with just control for Internet of Things devices. If you are doing that, you can sell. And I know that in the past, there was very good software going out from Nigeria. A lot of major technology companies relied on software built and developed in Nigeria. We can go back to that. So if we implement, and for me, I'm making a case of the education component of the strategy because that's the key thing. Every other thing we want to build has to be upon education. So we need to have, and we need to grow the workforce. Now, on the military side, you're talking about cyber defense. You can't have cyber defense if you wait until someone gets into, say, the Nigerian Defense Academy at age 18 or 21. We have programs that are scaled under the policy, where you have scholarships for research, you have scholarships for workforce growth. But the key thing is you start early. You have youngsters in primary schools and secondary schools who are not distracted. They can actually build you some of the most beautiful code you will see. But we have a lot of them that are not enhanced. So that's also one area. Now, we mentioned the issue of whether the ERGP has actually recognized the strategic role of ICT. Unfortunately, it seemed to have simply treated ICT as part of they looked at it as part of the service industry. That is something that needs to be changed. However, looking at the areas that have been prioritized, we need to move from the point of simply consuming in terms of just buying stuff to creating our own stuff. And like the Center for Cyberspace Studies, set up from working out of National State University. It is a starting point, but it can reverberate through the entire country. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Please, can we give me a round of applause? Well, let me also add to it that within the framework of the National Cybersecurity Strategy, there is an ecosystem framework that has been developed. It means that when you have various subsectors, that will be implementing SaaS, that is creating an opportunity for the upcoming professional in the country. Then I'm also aware that within that strategy you have a manpower development. What that strategy is conversing for is that there should be a new cadre of ITC, that cybersecurity professional career should be totally, though there is an intersection, but it should be established such that you don't have to say that the network administrator should carry out the work of the IT security or the work of the cybersecurity officer. So all these things, I think they have been fully integrated in the policy instruments. But let's move forward. We're still talking about how can we intersect the need to prioritize cybersecurity with the National Economic Plan. Now, we've been talking about the WannaCry issues and all that. A recent global attack, which we are all aware, we'll be talking about it. But the question now is that how are we as a country prepared for such impending attack? We have seen an emergent approach, institution of government coming to say, no, Nigeria is well secure, we are well fortified, there is no problem, and there are additional patches and all that. But now, the question is, do we have a critical national cybersecurity? Do we need a critical national cybersecurity assessment framework, a dedicated agency responsible for coordinating and implementing national cybersecurity in line with national security, economic and development agenda? Do we really have such agency that will coordinate our engagement in cybersecurity? So I want to call on Dr. Stephen Bassi to perhaps help us to throw more light.
Is it okay? Thank you very much. And I want to say something before I get to the try to figure out whether we need framework. As someone from the intelligence community in the US, you can't do anything without a framework. I want to look at our oil industry and what happened to us. If we had a rethink and put a framework together and a mechanism, we will not be where we are today. Our former FBI director Robert Mueller said something in the US. He said there are only two types of entities. Those that have been hacked, those that will be. Where do we fall into? In Nigeria. Why did he say that? Because in US, with all our sophistication and everything, till today, we are going through stress with cyberspace war. It is beyond what we think. When I look at Nigeria today, I've been involved with the NDLA master plan. I look at our intelligence gathering. I look at our intelligence community. I don't think we have any framework. What would the framework do for us? Now, the framework is going to do a couple of things to help us. First, it will describe the current cybersecurity posture of this country. It will describe the target state for our cybersecurity. It will identify and prioritize opportunities for improvement within the context and repeatable process. Access progress toward the target state and communicate among internal and external stakeholders. That is what the framework that we need that will do for us when it comes to cyber space problem that is here today. I heard something that baffles me, and I don't want to start mentioning names, but somebody in a very high office in this country could say that Nigeria is protected cyber-wise. I am very shocked, but I'm not surprised. I'm very shocked. I have opportunity to work with Shego, with my brother here from Justice, and Dr. Paniso when I come in to work with Federal Ministry of Aviation, and now I'm doing a project on the airport project in Makodi. I was impressed when I first went to Kefi State University to see the Center for Cyber Space Studies. And I feel that the R&D that we are talking about is a key to any successful nation. We don't want to sit down and wait until it hits us. Then we will realize we just have 2,200 countries got hit at a go by ransom. So what will happen to Nigeria if we don't get our act together? In US, we have a Department of Homeland Security dedicated with all the craziness, with FBI, with CIA, everything that we got, we know cyber war has changed things. See our situation with Boko Haram. What do they say they're fighting for? They say they are fighting Western education. But they're using a telephone to communicate. They're using internet to expose their victims. Do we have a framework that will liaise with international community? If somebody hacked into our database today in Nigeria, do we have any framework that give our legal department authority?
We are all aware of Boko Haram issues, trafficking, and all that. We need a database. However, the National Identity Management Commission, they are really working. There's a committee working to ensure this is done. But in our own way, like we said, there will be need for us to be called upon. Like I said, it's a basic tool to control crime. Identity everywhere. Just simple identity. Everybody knows where you live, where you walk, you're driving. Everything is connected to you. So that who knows who is one of us, who is not part of us. So that somebody from another country will not come to Nigeria as a Nigerian. So our information systems are cross-border. We need local content expertise to support, and we must have confidence in ourselves. Communication and support systems. So we can't ever do that. For that, we need to create a communication network. So as we make our city safe, you know, first thing first, I took this from Oversight Framework. I love it so much. I told a friend, if I am a president of Nigeria, I'm going to use COVID-5 to run Nigeria, and it's going to work. Why? There are critical things you need to do. What are the drivers? What is driving us to do cybersecurity? We must understand it. There's no. Why do we want our cities to be safe? So that's the point. The second thing is what? How do we do it? What needs to be done? How do we get there? When we get there, how do we know? When we eventually get there, how do we keep the momentum going? So we need to make our city safe. There has to be a program, and that has to go around that. So issues of, so people, process, data, and things need to be connected for us to have safe cities. Connecting people in a more valuable ways. Processes. Connecting data with intelligence to be able to make better decisions. What am I saying? In my community, I need to build so number of schools. How many are children? How many are of school age? How many are adults? Those information are critical for us to do whatever we need to do. Internet of things, data analytics, information sharing. So, using technology can never be overemphasized. You know, the other time I also talked about support. We need to be, in our little ways, we need to be supporting ourselves. So, what's important? We need to connect. It's key. But while we are connecting, the risks are there. So that's opportunity for cybersecurity experts. I have what I call Smart Nigeria Initiative campaign. We need a smart government, we need smart people, we need smart society, we need smart cities. Everyday things need to be done. We need to be able to use less to achieve what? More. Crime prevention through environmental design. We need to design our environment around all this. Surveillance, access control, territorial reinforcement. We need to put proper planning in place. National surveillance. Now we need our cities to look like this. We need our villages to look like this. What do we need to do? I've accepted. So wrap it up. Perimeter security, like I said, we need to access control, cameras everywhere. We need to monitor it. Because you cannot implement what you don't know. You want to bring a Cisco camera or a Huawei camera, and you also install another software that we got from fraud. We're paying licenses upon licenses. We're paying money upon money. How do we begin to build our own OS? We need to build our own local antivirus. Every day we talk about Norton, we talk about these, where can somebody come up with one? Antivirus or an anti-malware solutions. We need to begin to think and do something. So all these are just fencing, like I talk about the surveillance devices, intrusion detection systems, to know when a bomb is coming, when there's an issue, there's an alert. But technology is there. The process has to be clear, but the people must do something. When I wrap up, I want to say this to us, that we need 4 things before we can have safe communities, safe cities, political leadership and commitment. We've said that. I don't want to stress on that. Institutional arrangement so that we will not be attacked. But however, that will not be in our benefit. So we need to take a decision as people and we need to take it together. So we need to be part of this connection so that we can live a better life. Knowledge, skills, technology is key. Awareness plus preparation is safety. You need to prepare for the opportunities to come. Thank you so much.
Okay, with your permission, I'm going to leave the Q&As till we finish the second paper. I'm actually trying to get the overall schedule back on track. But Mr. Osman, just very quickly on the last point you made about the new national policy, having worked for at least four national security advisors, I can tell you that we actually already have a grand strategy for national security. I don't know if it's been updated recently, but I know many years ago it was worked on. So some of these policy documents that you are referring to actually already do exist. On that note, engineer, Obochukwu, please. I'm going to give you 23 minutes because he went a little over time. I hope you can squeeze in with it. Thank you.
Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start with this protocol. It's a pleasure to be here to share the ones on cybersecurity aviation, issues and challenges. Thanks, Susan, for giving the opportunity to be here to talk to us about this. I mean, when we talk about aviation in Nigeria or globally, people look at aviation like a black box, as if what they know about actually is the airport and the airlines. Customer facing aspect of what basically. But what happens behind the scenes, which is complex and complicated, most people who use the air transport environment do not understand what goes behind the scene. And as I share this afternoon, I'm going to do a lot of highlights basically and try and also talk about opportunities that exist in Nigeria. I'm going to take it from a global perspective and just come back to Nigeria as well. As we go on this presentation. Basically. Just to start, what is going to work? Alright. Just imagine that you're in a flight from Lagos to Abuja, for example. And 20 minutes to the flight, you hear an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Susan speaking. You just take command of the aircraft. Your physical captains are still on board, but you've lost control of the aircraft. What would you think? What would you think? And the announcement goes on. The captain executive, no panicking, passengers relax, it's going to be a safe flight. We're going to bring you down safely in our own airport. Then the person on that flight, what has happened? You must know a Star Wars movie. It's going to be real. What you see in Star Wars is going to be real as we go on. So just imagine something like that as we go on. Maybe after that 20 minutes, the night everyone can ask again, you know what? We just decided that you're going back the control of the captain, your physical captains. Everybody's going to have a side of you, right? Good. But that's something that definitely is going to happen. Because cybersecurity in the aviation industry is a dangerous game. I use that word game. Well, I work for the Aviation Consulting Limited. What's happening to you guys? And security consulting firm. We don't have advisory and all that, basically. And okay, we're back. So the agenda basically we're going to run through the agenda and see that what's going on. And this is where I work. Now, this is a quote from Barack Obama. He says America must also face the rapidly growing threat from cyber attacks. Our enemies are also seeking the ability to sabotage our power grid, our financial institutions, and our air traffic control systems. That's my focus really. Air traffic control systems. We cannot look back years from now and wonder why we did nothing in the face of great threats to our security and economy. I hope we will see that about Nigeria because these cyber threats are real for aviation, but unfortunately Nigeria is doing absolutely nothing about it. Absolutely nothing about it today. It's real. Now just think about air transport. Air transport basically is the foundation for international tourism and investment. Very crucial to the global economy. Air transport is the safest piece of operation from A to point B. It's the fastest. It carries mass people per time better than other modes of transportation, basically. And security is critical and safety is critical. So in between that, you have cyber is actually affecting both sides of the equation. The security aspect and the safety aspect. Cyber is, without safety and security, aviation will be available, we will work. Because that's what keeps aviation going, safety and security. Once there's that loss of confidence in safety and security in aviation, people will fly. People will basically fly. That's the truth. So cyber has come in to try and disrupt the safety and security of aviation globally. But again, there are things to do about it anyway. That's where opportunities lie, like the chairman said. Just from one of the regulatory document of International Civil Aviation, I carried document 9854, how they define security for aviation. It refers to the protection against threats that stem from international acts, cyber terrorism, for example, or unintentional acts, like human error and all that, affecting aircraft, people on installations on the ground. Adequate security is a measure of expectation. It's a measure of expectation of the ATM community. ATM is air traffic management community and citizens. ATM system should therefore contribute to security, and the ATM system as well as ATM-related information should be protected against any threats. Security risk management should balance the needs of the members of the ATM community that require access to the system with the need to protect the ATM system. This is actually a requirement by ICAO for every ATM environment globally. So again, like I keep saying, it's not a Nigerian standard as it were. It's a global standard. What are the issues? Now, from terrorist attacks to geopolitical posturing, state terrorism as well, if there's any industry in the world today actually has found itself dragged into all of this, it's actually aviation. But I said that aviation actually this new aviation in 2008. What is satellite-based? Primarily satellite-based. Most of them do aviation today as satellite communication, surveillance systems, navigation system and all that. Basically, satellite-based. So from ground-based, primarily ground-based systems, we go from that to a mixture of both satellite and ground-based systems. So again, the reason we are moving more and more into the open environment, exposing ourselves to vulnerability and uncertainties, that's to do that. Even though we're getting efficiency and effectiveness in all that space. Because of all of this, the threat scenario has totally changed. The racial threat landscape has changed, totally changed. There are sophisticated enemies that are there looking for ways to, to exploit the racial environment and infrastructure. Of course, there are state disposal attacks. But that's actually the major aspect of this kind of thing to look at in terms of state disposal attacks. Every day there are new terrorists coming up with one reason or the other to attack. One key area basically is that high tech is available and it's so cheap these days. It's cheap. It's cheap. Shut down totally. That has happened. This is not Star Wars story now. This is real. This is real. Spanish Air Flight 5022, it's a FD-82 aircraft, was flying from Madrid to Barajas Airport. In 2018, came on problem. Now, what was the accident? There was malware in the computer system in the aircraft. Malware. We're seeing signs of what I was talking about before. Malware. Again, 2009, there was an attack, and FAA is actually Federal Aviation Administration of America. That's what it is. They were, for 8,000, they were attacked on FAA database, and they got information of 8,000 past and present FAA employees. Again. Then Vietnam's two largest airports, and nation's flag carrier, Vietnam Airlines 2016, that's just last year, was attacked. And passenger data for this freedom flyer program was published online. A cyber attack led to shut down a passport control system at the control terminals of Istanbul Airport in 2013, causing many flights to be delayed. An apparent cyber attack that possibly involved malicious hacking and phishing targeted at Sequoia airports in the USA in 2013. Before that, these are recent things, 2013, 2016, and all that, very recent. Now, looking at the whole aviation, value chain, aviation system, there are various domains. There's the aircraft domain, there's the aircraft manufacturers domain, there's the airlines operations domain, there's the NSP. NSP is the Air Navigation Service Provider. In Nigeria, the NSP in Nigeria is actually the Nigerian State Management Agency now. The regulator is the Nigerian Regulation Authority. The airport is Federal Authority of Nigeria, which is FAN. Of course, you have all the airlines, domestic airlines as well, all across. Then, of course, the border control guys, immigration, customs, and all that, they're there in the airports as well. Of course, you and I, we are passengers who use the airlines as well. Also, they have satellite providers as well, and other stakeholders in the airport environment. There are banks, there are shops, and all of that. They're all part of the stakeholder in the airport environment. And they have a role to play because they're also part of the airport information system, which the corporate records is, this is a method that I actually develop and all that. So with this, you can access and take control of that and fly the airplane. And fly the airplane. So that's what we do. Now, because of the fact that this is a big thing for a nation, there's a lot of global efforts, independent efforts that different organizations are out. I carry with global body regulation mission all over the world. And they started, what they've done and is to bring everybody's effort together. This before it was independent regulation and stuff and all that. The first cyber security relations conference was done in Dubai last month. The first one. So the nation actually is taking it as something that's very major and critical. So again, there are future events going to happen so that the nation can come up with a standard mission plan for the organization basically. So I'm just going to skip all of this. These are all various
the aviation sector from setting up concepts, and yes, I think it would be ideal and preferable if you could have some kind of back-end collaboration with not just the NSA but with the security services generally. For the sake of further information, please, if you are not aware, any and all of you, please feel free to go to the NG Cert. There are 3 documents that I would love for you to download. They're available free. One is the Cybercrime Act 2015. Download it and know it. There are many things that are now against the law, and if you do them, you are liable. And indeed, one of the interesting things in the law is that there are things you may do in your organization that your directors and the board members are actually liable for as well. The second document I would ask you to download is something called the National Cybersecurity Policy. If you don't have it, please read it. It's what you guys, it affects what you do. The third document is the National Cybersecurity Strategy. Again, please download it, read it, understand it. These 3 documents are important because they are the bedrock of whatever you think you want to do within the Nigerian component of the cyber world. And one of the key things that will stand out to you from particularly the strategy and the policy is that you want to come on. You want to come and talk? Pardon? Yeah, but do you want to come and talk? Okay, so if I could have attention, please, I'll come back, I'll repeat them in a minute. The critical thing I want to put across to you is that Nigeria as a country, in the 2 documents, the National Cybersecurity Policy and the National Cybersecurity Strategy, have defined 5 domains of warfare. Air, which we've just talked about, the public policy, land, which we've talked about, and our colleagues in green take over the land security aspects. There is also sea, there is outer space, and now the 5th domain is cyberspace. So Nigeria does recognize cyberspace as the 5th domain of warfare. So it's important for us, whether it is for public safety and security, whether it is for aviation security, to be aware of these 5 domains. Let me repeat. Go to NG Search, please do an online search for the NG Search website. I don't keep those kind of websites in my brain. National Cybercrime Act 2015. Before he left office, President Jonathan signed it into law. It exists. If somebody tells you there's no law, a lie. Law there. 2, the National Cybersecurity Policy. If they say we have no policy in this thing, please, we do. It is been assented to by the Federal Executive Council, so it's official. And the third one is the National Cybersecurity Strategy. So that exists and is real. So sorry for taking up your time. I am trying to catch up on the 1 hour that we have lost. So could I go, I'll start from my left, zone by zone, maybe 1 or 2 questions. So could I start over here, please? Is there anybody that, as they say, speak now or forever hold your peace? Any questions in this segment? The presentations were perfect, or the presentations were so imperfect you didn't understand anything? Perfect. Good. Okay, thank you. From this zone, please. Do we have any questions? You are wiping your head. Is it a question or just wiping your forehead? You have a question, sir? No? Okay. You are putting up your hand to touch the camera. Any questions from this zone, please? Speak now. Okay, forever hold your peace. I have been given an opportunity. So is it that you guys are just grab everything? Or maybe it's black man's disease, eat and sleep. Okay, this zone do not disappoint. Particularly the ladies. Ask the question. No question, madam. But your mic is on. No question. Aja at the back. You are talking. No question. Are you sure? You have a question?
Let me ask from Twitter.
Please, round of applause for somebody from Twitter. Yes, sir. Come down. Ask the question.
My question is...
It's not yours. Not your question.
His name is Aye Ibo. I don't know where it's from. One question is, please, do we have a robust cyber incident response team? Second one is digital evidence admissible in court in Nigeria?
So, let me start with you.
I would like to say, Mr. Chairman,
Okay, very, very quickly. There are two cybersecurity emergency response or computer emergency response teams. One is the NG-CERT that I just told you about, in the Office of the National Security Advisor, and it is also the coordinating center. Now, if you read the law that I just mentioned, the Cybercrime Act, by law, if you have an incident, you must report it to that center. Doesn't matter who you are, you must report it to that center, so by law. In terms of the issue of evidence, well, I'm not a lawyer, but actually there have been, I think, some amendments to the Evidence Act, so that there are certain types of electronic evidence that are admissible. But I will not pretend to you that I know the details, but I just know that there are some. So I think that is just a general response. But I'm not going to pay these guys their dollar. Yes, ma'am. Please clap for this lady.
Various sectors, what are we doing on the side of enforcement? Are we really, because I just see it as it's just there, you know?
Let me allow engineer Oluchi put it.
But I'm going to try and say something about it.
Thank you.
It's about enforcement, right? Well, kids have heard about who the enforcement of the apps. Apart from that, I don't have any information about that. Really.
If you listen to the earlier presentations being made, we talked about the fact that we have a national cybersecurity strategy, and there's also an advisory council in place in which they are pushing for the implementation, the implementation of it in as much as so that we can have an organization or an agency of government who will take that lead role to implement everything to letter. However, I'm aware that the EFCC, they are running with it as we speak. I know from information and from what I've been able to gather so far, EFCC, they are working with it, but there has to still be clearly defined responsibility. Who owns it? Somebody must be in charge, which is still a work in progress. I think that's what I can say for now.
The smart cities and all of that, and that's involvement of data transmission. Then we also earlier talked about storage of national data. I'm thinking Nigeria should start thinking about developing its data inclusion standard for national documents. And then when we're talking about smart cities, we should not allow our data to be transmitted using devices like Mr. Bakari said earlier, to transmit such important devices. Then I also think we should start thinking about our own private or government data warehouse. Our data is always stored outside. Databases for immigration, databases for federal road safety, and all of what they are stored outside. So we're talking about protecting ourselves, and then we're storing our data outside. Where is the safety? Where is the protection?
Thank you. Can I take
the space and the cyberspace? Now my question is, we all know the land, rightly said, the army, the sea, the navy, the air, the air force. Who now take charge of the outer space and the cyberspace? And what's the clear difference between the cyberspace and the outer space? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So let me let you answer all these.
Information security, physical security, there has to be clearly defined roles and responsibilities, just like we said. I want to say, based on the level of what I understand now, is that it's a work in progress. You know, National Information Technology Development Agency, Office of the National Security Advisor, the FCC, they're still working together with the existing Cybersecurity Advisory Council to ensure we have an agency. They're going to say somebody who's going to be responsible, probably cybersecurity. It's a work in progress. But what I will say is, on our part as people, as individuals, by the time we keep saying this, we keep talking about it, somebody's going to listen, they're going to hear about it, and something will be done. But however, I know that a lot of effort going on. On the issue of securing our information, we're talking about national information. I know that the National Information Technology Development Agency, they are working on the PKI, public key infrastructure, to ensure that, to look around security of our data and all that across the internet. I remember I was invited to represent my office on that project. At some point, it got terminated and we've not heard anything up to now. So, what I will just say again is, it's what in progress. All right, thank you.
Government organizations should keep their data within Nigeria. I don't know when it's supposed to be implemented, but there's a policy direction by government that all public sector organizations need to bring their data and make it representative in country and not keep it outside. And some have started complying with that policy choice and all that. So again, that basically addresses the question I'm asking about keeping our data in country, basically. And the issue of the security thing, I mean, leaders will do something about that. So basically what it means is that we need to have the infrastructure within Nigeria to handle those data. Basically, that's key. Again, that's an opportunity as well for IT professionals, basically, and all that. It shouldn't be ascribed to any particular group or something. It should be a multi-stakeholder group because it involves a lot of stakeholders. Even the lawyers are involved in cyberspace. The cybersecurity are involved in cyberspace. You know, all kinds of people like that. So it has to be a collection of professionals that understand that space and be able to try to administer that space, really.
But really, someone has to take a lead role. So that's going to just.
Hold on, sir. Space actually have a cyber command and a space command. And I know that the US Cyber Command, which is my area of particular interest, noise please, used to, before it was upgraded, used to have a staff strength of 6,700 military officers in uniform. The other thing is that I think China's cyber command was basically their military cyber activities. We are looking at between 20 and 30,000 officials, especially the younger civilians, they are the hackers. And I think, as we heard earlier today, sometimes you actually have to employ them to do some things. So what you're finding is that in militaries around the world, in fact, I have a list of about 60 countries that actually have military cyber institutions, especially for attack. So these things, and we are no different. Now, if you go through the National Space Policy, there is actually a provision for a space command. Okay? I don't think it has been implemented, but because I was one of the 24 that worked on that policy, I'm aware of it, and I'm aware of some of the challenges we had with it. But at the end of the day, a command, whether it's cyberspace or what, cannot answer to a line ministry unless it is Ministry of Defense or Defense Headquarters. So what has happened in specifically the case of Nigeria is that the military, which actually you should be telling us, has set up the Defense Space Agency. The Defense Space Agency basically takes care of space, outer space, and cyberspace. And I believe that it is amalgamated like that because it is still being incubated. But I believe profoundly that at some point, probably in the relatively near future, that DSA itself will split so that you will have two, that's the responsibility matrix. Now, just for our own edification, one of the things that I would love for the Nigerian military to look at is the model of the cyber command that is used in Estonia. It's a very interesting model. I don't know how many of you here have heard of the nation of Estonia. Okay. It's a very small country. But it is actually one of the first countries that was ever, in quote, cyber attacked. It's believed it was Russia, but let's not call names. Okay? But Estonia's response was very interesting. In the US, you have like a home guard, where young people, they go on the weekends and for 1 or 2 weeks and do military maneuvers. So Estonia used that kind of model where it got people from industry to be able to basically engage in cybersecurity, both defense and offensive activities. But the idea was that those drills were carried out under a military command. There was actually a military commander in charge. And the whole concept was that when you practice, you become perfect. So in the event of a national cyber emergency, all of those young people in different private organizations will come together and work under the discipline of a military command to address the problem. Bear in mind, with all due respect to whether it's the military or to the public service, there is no way you are going to be able to spend enough money or have enough budgets to be able to continue to practice, to be able to continue to engage. But if I may say, somebody who works like at MTN sees some kind of cyber threat maybe every day. So they tend to be much sharper. So we have different choices. You can bring in some young civilians for that stability and for that expertise, or you could actually look very critically at the Estonian example where they have this, you know, like again in aviation, anybody who is a pilot is a standby Air Force officer in case of national emergency. Okay? That's what they've done in Estonia. It works for them. Sir, you have a question?
All this talk is
Please direct the questions to our...
Okay. I've not heard the mention of children and education.
Absolutely.
I'll call them the sixth domain, if you allow me. For people my generation, actually, this is still rocket science because it's not natural to us. You know, coding and all that and so on. But to
you are not a digital native, sir.
No, I'm just being honest here. But to kids 2-3 years, I mean, they are going to live in a world that is the only one they know. How, at the level of this for our discussion, how are we, or is there any mention of a curriculum that will incorporate all this, and so that, because that, you know, part of what we are saying here, if we are going to make any difference in this country, it has to do with our children, you know, and I'll call them the cyber warriors, and you couldn't have them better and cheaper, and I have not heard anything about education yet. Oh, I've been waiting, you know, especially children, education of children, they're that age.
I totally agree with you. I would also call on the organizers as part of their communique to include this particular issue as a major note of advice to government. And this ties into what I said yesterday, that at the end of the day, we do need to be able to create a cybersecurity solutions industry. And part of that industry is that young people should be able to be self-empowered to be able to deliver these services, including and especially training and educational services. I think it's a very, very useful input and idea. Now, I have seen two hands from the hall, and I have said no. But I'm going to ask the hall, can we permit them to ask their question, or should we just shut down? What is it going to be? What are the eyes? What are the nays? Okay, eyes have it. So, sir, let's start with you.
Has to do with very precise on the aviation safety. You say something about the communication system aspect. You talk about the VHF. You make an example of if you have to take down the communication tower in Abuja from there. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm also in that line. Now, this also affects even our shipping industry in the same area. Now, I want to find out from your own point, you being a consultant in this line, what is the advice you have for the younger generation? Many of us are also trying to key into this thing. What are those plans? What are those things you guys are putting in place? For instance, if I take down the GPS, yes, it's the question. If I take down the GPS of any tower or any shipping command center now, they can't communicate to their ship anymore. What are you guys doing to prevent this thing as a consultant to the aviation industry? Thank you.
Even if you take down one, and that one kicks in, it takes over to provide the service we provide, basically. So that's actually built in aviation environment because of safety and security primarily. Again, we talk about human lives, so we cannot jeopardize human lives, basically. So in terms of operation, there are inbuilt redundancies in the system that enables actually to continue service, even if in the event of the creation of the service that is in operation initially. That's one. There's a lot of training that's going on as well, capacity building within that space. So to actually enable to actually get the necessary skills and knowledge and competence, people actually understand how to. Now, there are two parts to it. There's the part before cybersecurity and there's the part with cyber threats. Now, before cyber threats, I mean, all of this, they have to have in place all of these things that enable you to continue your service delivery, even when services are integrated because of the multiple requirements we have in place. Now, cyber threats, like I said, is actually a new territory. Innovation is going into right now. And because of the fact that the way vulnerability happens, most of the organizations today globally, it's not just Nigeria, do not understand their vulnerability status as we speak. So there's ongoing checks and tests going on actually to discover, look, where am I in all of this? Am I compromised? Am I not compromised? If I'm compromised, what am I supposed to do about that? So it's an ongoing process that has started. So it's actually a new phase in global aviation environment. Okay, so there's more going on. There's some level of awareness and enlightenment going on because people need to understand what the traditions are right now. You know, I talked earlier on that one of the cases in Nigeria who has done this is Nama, who have actually done is basically Nama. The rest, basically, are going to go ahead and work in progress. Yeah.
The judiciary. Now, it's still on the implementation of the National Cybersecurity Strategy. I want to know the involvement and then understanding of the judiciary, because if we finish saying all these things and they don't understand this law, they can't interpret it, it's very obvious now that we are moving from physical warfare to cyber warfare. And at the same time, I think our judiciary should be one of the people at the forefront in terms of understanding and interpretation of this law so that they can enforce it. So I want to know their involvement. I am expecting to see them, you know, in this kind of gathering. You understand? Even our communicate, they should be there to also endorse it. If we finish saying all these things and it's not going to be, you know, enforced, then it doesn't make any sense. So I want to know.
I know that there are ICT lawyers
And in fact, there are some of them who are focused on cybersecurity. I know a friend of mine, Basil Udotai, who's an IT lawyer, and that's one, and they're doing a lot of awareness. That there was a time we met at the conference, and I also engaged him, just like you said. I told you what are they doing, and he told me quite a bit. I remember there was a time on the TV, there was a program for the judges, teaching them, exposing them on technology issues and all that. How do they use computer systems to be able to deliver judgment quickly and in a timely manner. So they are also aware, and they are doing a whole lot as well. So on that note, so there shouldn't be any worry. We should not even worry about. One thing that's also very important is from the National Cybersecurity Strategy, we have to activate a National Cybersecurity Awareness Program, which we are doing on our part as CISHON. So the discussion is ongoing, and we'll continue to talk about it till everybody gets aware. Training, awareness, education is key. We are all involved. Talk to your friend, talk to your neighbor that the future is cybersecurity, and we are responsible. Thank you.
I'm very grateful for your care, time, and attention. I'd like you to give our great resource persons a round of applause and appreciation. Thank you very, very much. And I can close and run away. Thank you. Please,
And one day when we were troubleshooting some cases for our subscribers, I, by mistake, basically messaged one subscriber with a global title from the wrong operator, and it actually worked. So we were able to manipulate and operate a subscriber profile from the wrong global title. And I was very surprised that this was working because it shouldn't. And that's basically how I discovered that the whole SS7 ecosystem is kind of broken and vulnerable to be exploited. So just a few words about my company. What we provide for operators is one-time or recurring SS7 or diameter penetration tests. We do those remotely, so we connect with several operators that provide us access to the SS7 network. And then we're able to conduct pen tests from outside the country through the SS7 network, just like a real attacker would do. So it's replicates very closely what a real attacker would do. And we don't need to install any equipment or receive any types of connections from the customer that we are pen testing. We also provide trainings on this subject to operators and to regulatory staff. We provide some intelligence reports. We do traffic audits where we go through an operator's traffic and kind of identify for them who is attacking them from overseas, who is being attacked, and then also if any of their own GPs are being misused to attack others. And we have post-implementation of SS7 firewalls. So the first step would be to talk about how the SS7 network works, the architecture, the supply chain, and what somebody would need to communicate on the SS7 network. SS7 was created in the 70s as a secure, that's how they called it, a secure alternative to SS5. The difference between SS5 and SS7 was that in SS5, the media, basically the phone call, was being transmitted over the same channel as the signaling. You might know about this under the name EPMF. So when a call would be established, you would first hear a series of tones, which are signaling to the switch on the other end which number you want to call. And after this has been done and the call is established, then the call would occur over the same channel. And this was deemed unsecure because there were some enterprising people that had created devices that would replicate these EMF tones, and they would just hold those devices against the phone receiver and basically, by getting the right tones, instruct the phone network to connect their calls to anywhere in the world, and it would create fraud. So the operators introduced SS7, where the signaling is separate from the media. So you have channels that are used for media and channels that are used for signaling, which are separate and presumed to be secure by the virtue of at the time when it was created in the 70s. These SS7 links were between different operators in different countries, that it was kind of a closed ecosystem. Each country had mostly one operator, and in most cases that operator was government-owned. There was very little or no private ownership of telecom networks. And everybody assumed that this was kind of safe, because unless you were an operator, you could not communicate on this network, and therefore they didn't create any kind of security on there, like to authenticate nodes or to verify that nodes are not spoofing other nodes, for example. How this was tied up between operators originally was that basically each operator that wanted to signal to another operator in a different country would do a bilateral link with Nigeria. They would all have connected to some SS7 hub in order to be able to talk to the other carriers in the other countries. Now, at the time, it was typically connections done through TDM, so that the hub was in a specific country, and that's how you would reach to the outside. But nowadays, all these connections can be made using SIGTRAN over the internet inside of VPNs. And so it's very frequent for operators to actually use hubs that are in completely different countries. It makes it very difficult for law enforcement, for example, to kind of get a on what's going on there. Because it could be an operator in Nigeria, and the signaling provider could be, for example, in Belgium. This is the kind of a list of the different signaling, like the major signaling operators, and those are fully commercial entities. So their goal is to get as many signaling customers as they can, and therefore the barrier of entry to purchase signaling from any of those is pretty low. You just have to call them and say that you need to buy signaling and negotiate the price with them, and if any one of them is not interested in doing that, there's plenty of others to call. So usually they don't create too much trouble for somebody who wants to buy signaling, because they know that if they don't sell it, then the next hub will have no problem selling. Now, with this new architecture that exists today, it creates some challenges for law enforcement and kind of police it, which is that there is no more sovereign control by each country on its own SS7 signaling, because the operators can tie up with hubs in completely different countries. And these signaling carriers also, in most cases, or probably not everyone can just do this what they want to, but any determined person that has enough time and resources can go and find themselves access to the SS7 network, the right global title, the right infrastructure, and then eventually perform this type of attack on any target in the world, as long as the operator has not implemented any kind of SS7 firewall to protect against this. And I also forgot to mention that all the attacks that I'm going to quickly talk about, we found all of these vulnerabilities in most of the mobile networks that we have tested so far. As long as the mobile network is not protected by an SS7 firewall, then usually all of these vulnerabilities are present. And this is why it's